Hey, this Sunday is Father's Day, and we will be honoring God in how we celebrate our dads. We also want to make sure that our dads know how special and important they are to us and what an influence they have on their family. So we have a gift for you as well. Hey, I was thinking about dads, and maybe you've heard of the comedian Jeff Foxworthy. He made funny the line, "You might be a redneck if," like you have a house on wheels and a vehicle on blocks, or strangers ask permission to hunt in your front yard, or you might be a redneck if you have a working TV sitting on top of a broken TV, or your grandma has an ashtray on her ironing board. Or maybe you might be a redneck if the last words you utter before you lose consciousness are, "Hey, y'all, watch this." Listen, Foxworthy made a commitment years ago to make his home life as normal as possible, even though his career demanded a lot of travel. So when Jordan and Julianne Foxworthy were little, he almost exclusively drove them to school each day and read to them at night. He says that the other job he had was he wanted to make sure his daughters, that he showed them in the way he treated their mom, how they should expect to be treated by a guy. And at great expense, financially and physically, he would return home after shows rather than staying in hotels on the road. So indicative of his commitment to family, he said, I got invited to host a dinner at the White House once, but I couldn't go because it was the same night as my daughter's play at school. And 20 years from now, the president won't remember if I came to the White House, but my daughter will remember if I wasn't at her play. Foxworthy says all of his faith drives his fatherhood, and dads, all of us have the opportunity to be that dad for our kids and that grandpa for our grandkids. So we want to celebrate you. This Sunday, also, I get to give one more picture from David's life. And I hope you've noticed that if we've learned anything about King David so far, and he was far from perfect, and yet God was able to use him, which gives me hope. I hope it does you too. Now, through his relationships in his life, we've looked at issues like how you can have a heart like his, how to take on giants, how to be a friend, how to affair-proof your marriage. Our last look at what we can learn from David covers a lot of chapters, 13 to 18 of 2 Samuel. And rather than reading the 6 chapters aloud, what I'm going to do Sunday is summarize them and tell you the story. Now, I encourage you to read chapters 13 to 18 before Sunday or afterwards. It's quite a story of sex and murders and lies and anguish, and if it were a movie, it would definitely be rated R. This weekend, as we celebrate dads, we're going to look at parenting through how he responded to a rebellious child. And listen, this is not a temper tantrum in the mall. It's not a 3-day suspension from school. David's son Absalom ignited a rebellion that led to battles and bloodshed and death. And it's going to be a great lesson for all who have children in their lives, regardless of whose children they are. So this weekend, listen, I hope you'll be there, whether it's on campus or it's online. Really looking forward to seeing you.